say I said before you what I meant to fish. You cannot be carrying that. And we began. That's what I meant. Can you say me very full? I could have said that.
Now, that video that you just watched there is the FCT Minister Wike denying that he called the gallant military officer Yerima a fool. Now, for you to understand the kind of leaders that we have in that country, I am going to play for you the video of what actually transpired between the FCT Minister Wike and the gallant military officer Yerima. Watch the video and I'll come back for a further analysis.
Everything was applied legally.
Will you stop that? Will you stop that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, you're not good officer.
Not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet? Give me a big fool.
I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool,
You can shoot anybody like that.
Sir, I'm not a
You're the
fool.
fool.
I am not a fool, sir.
And for the time I graduated, you were primary
I'm
school.
acting on orders.
For
You
which
can't
order?
call me a fool.
I just you see whether you love me.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go and put up your
I'm an
mouth.
officer. I'm not a fool, sir.
Okay,
I'm an
we
officer.
can talk about that. You will have killed everybody here.
No, we are not killing anybody. We won't kill anybody, sir. We are acting on orders.
Now, I'm sure you heard very clearly when the FCT minister, Wike, called that officer a fool. In fact, he said a very big fool. So the next day, the FCT minister, called a press conference and said he never called the officer a fool. So this goes to show, or this tells you the kind of leaders that we have in Nigeria, or to a very large extent, Africa as a whole. We have leaders that are very dishonest, leaders that lack integrity, leaders that lack respect for officers or men and women in uniform, leaders that lack respect for the rule of law. And yet we are expecting that the country or the continent is going to work when we have people like this in leadership. And some of us who are overseas even go as far as blaming America or blaming the UK or blaming the French. But we should start to look inward and see the kind of leadership that we have in place, because this scenario here is exactly what plays at the polling units. Just what is different is that we do not have officers like Yerima in the polling unit to stand up to this kind of leaders. If we have people like this young military officer here in the polling unit, then results will be reflecting the actual votes of the people. Because once the minister comes there or the governor comes there, you simply say to them, you have no business being here except to come here and vote. And once you have voted, you have to live here. So if we have this kind of officers in place, we have the solutions that we're looking for in Nigeria and in Africa at large. So these kind of leaders have no respect for the rule of law as well, because there's no part in the Constitution of Nigeria that says a minister should go to or has the power to go to any property or any site and demolish it. As you can see in this video that is playing now, the minister actually went to this site with a heavy equipment, excavator or bulldozer or whichever, to demolish the property. So I want you to see what this son, SAN, said, Femi Falana said about the power to demolish a property in Nigeria. Thank you.
No governor, no minister has the power under the current constitutional arrangement or legal system to decide that Dr. Ruben Abati's house has not complied, or in the building of the house has not complied with certain provisions of the law. Therefore, I'm going to demolish the house. Nobody has such power in Nigeria. You have to go to court to say the owner of this house has violated the law. We want to demolish the house in line with the provisions of the law. And the court will look at it and say, please go ahead. But in the case of Abuja and Lagos, in the case of Abuja, there is a regional and urban tribunal set up by the government to determine when a house should go down. In Abuja, the minister he cannot usurp the powers of that regional tribunal,
You heard from the senior advocate there that not a single individual in Nigeria, as per the Constitution of the Federal Republic, has the power to demolish a property. Not the minister, not the governor, not even the president has that power. So it begs the question then, why are all these demolitions going around or going on across the country, in Lagos State, for example, in Edo State, and all other states for that matter? So being perpetrated or being done by the so-called governors and the minister itself, they are clearly illegal because they do not follow due process when they do these things. And these are the same leaders that are supposed to uphold the Constitution, or as they say, the custodians of the law of the land, but they are not doing the same. So these things we have to stop if we are intentional about fixing things in that country and in Africa at large. And to you, the Commissioner of Police in Nigeria, why are all these your men, policemen, special agents, special security forces, all of this crowd following just one man, a minister who is occupying a position that is not even elected but by appointment? Whereas across the country, there are a lot of insecurities. There are kidnappings, there are killings, there are robberies, everything going all wrong in the country. But all these men are just following one minister to or on an illegal mission. So these kind of things, Commissioner of Police, will have to stop. These things do not happen in advanced countries, in Western countries for that matter. It only happens in Africa. Of course, in this case, Nigeria. So these things we have to stop if we are intentional about fixing things in our country and in our continent. This is where I'll call it a day in today's video, and I'd like to thank you for watching my video. I am going to be doing more of this kind of videos, and I please ask that you show your support for my channel by subscribing to my channel, and also please follow my page on social media. Thank you.